like you were saying, like having a teammate that actually, like probably is around your weight class, and like you say that he tells you, hey man, like I'm gonna beat you next time. Hey man, like you did really good this time. Like I really like, like how you were shooting the outside, how you were shooting the double, and kind of like looking at those things builds your confidence, builds your trust in what you're doing. And at some point, because they know what you're really good at, also they know how to defend you. So now you gotta work even harder to kind of like get that shot and get it deeper and just score in that point. Kind of like that. In a way, his defense, if you're like shooting, his defense gets really good. But also when you can shoot, is because they figure it out. So now you gotta look at them. You gotta look at how they are doing, and you gotta figure them out. You gotta figure how to score. Basically, just figure those things out. Kind of like you say, makes you so much of a better athlete just with them, but also when you have adversity of many other guys in your team. Now you have this guy, you have that guy, you have that guy, and you have a lot of guys that they have so many other things. Kind of like once you take, you figure them out, they figure you out, but also in a way you improve, and uh, I believe in sports that should always be the goal, improving, and also like helping each other to raise, to rise, like, and just be competitive, and how does like knowing these things, uh, sport and everything, kind of like helps you, like in competition, like your teammate, practicing and those things. How does everything sets in when you're about to compete? And what do you do in visualization? How do you visualize yourself before going into the match? Like, how do you meditate? Kind of like get yourself ready, get the nerves gone. Like, don't get too nervous, but kind of like keep the nervous, but don't get it too high, and kind of like don't be too relaxed. Kind of like finding that balance of competing, and how does that work for you?
So I think when it comes to competition, I think about all the things that my partner has told me. You know, you have a really good high crotch, you have a really good double leg, you have a good underhook. And I think those are the things that I focus on. And I say, okay, in this competition, I'm going to score with my underhooks. I'm going to score with my high crotch. I'm going to score with my double leg because that's what I'm good at. You know, um, I visualize myself wrestling my opponent the way I would wrestle my partner, going through the motion setups, constantly moving the guy, the pressure, knowing that this guy may be able to defend my high crotch. But then I think about what I did with my partner when he defended my high crotch. Okay, he defended my high crotch. I'm going outside single now, and I'm driving, driving, driving. And if this guy decides to pressure me forward, then I'm going to dive into a double leg and I'm going to take him down. There it is. If this guy jacks me up, I'm going up to my underhook because that's another thing I'm good at. So I think about that um, before my competitions. I think about the things that I did in practice, and knowing that I put in work every single day makes me feel a lot more confident. Knowing that there is no way that anyone here has worked harder than me. I think that helps me deal with the nerves. There is times when, let's say, you have a really big match that you get really nervous. My way of stopping the nerves is usually I try to distance myself from everybody, um, and I try to just first I pray, and then I close my eyes, and I think of all the people that have sacrificed for me to be in that moment. I think of all the people that have helped me get to where I am, and I think about the people behind me supporting me, knowing that win or lose, everything's going to be fine. Win or lose, I have my family there, whether it's my team family or my family, my immediate family, knowing that they're still going to be there when the match is over, regardless of a win or a loss. They're going to treat me the same, knowing that it's not the end of the world if I lose that match. Knowing that it's just another match, and regardless of the result, everything's going to be okay. I think that helps me calm down, and just knowing that I prepared myself to the best of my abilities helps me create that balance. I try to keep some of the nerves because I really feel like when you're nervous, you're really aware and it keeps you on your toes. So I really like having nerves And another reason I like having the nerves is because I know that I still love what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
know that I still care about it. Because when I don't have any nerves, I have lost the passion. I have lost, you know, the drive or the focus and the meaning to everything. So I like to feel nerves. I like to feel a little bit of nerves and let me know, like, okay, I care about this. This is what I love to do. I'm nervous because I'm a little bit afraid of my performance, but at the same time, you're confident. It's a crazy thing that you would have to experience in person in order to understand it. It's kind of like when you take a big test and you know you studied hard, but you're still a little bit nervous because you don't know what's going to be on the test. You don't know what's going to happen, and you go out there and you say, I studied hard. I hope for the best. I'm going to ace it, even if you're nervous. It's the same thing in a wrestling match. You go out there, you don't know what your opponent does. You don't know how he wrestles, so you don't know what to expect on that test. But you know that you're going to be tested. You know that it's going to be hard, and you know that even though you put in the work, there might be some things you're going to miss, just like you miss some questions. But at the end of the day, you say, hey, even if I stumble a little bit, I studied hard, or I'm good enough to get that win. I'm good enough to pass that test. And I think that's the mentality that you should have. And I think that's the way it happens. Your practice would be, you know, every day in classroom, all the lectures, you know, and then the extra work you put in outside of the wrestling room would be, you know, a study guide that you do, you know. And I think when your partners would be your classmates, if you put it in that aspect so everybody can understand it. And right before the test, you're nervous, but you're confident at the same time because you did all those little things. You did all those little things right. So you know it's going to be hard, but I can get after it.